Hi, fellow light warriors. Welcome back to Spiritual Growth Journeys. So grateful to have you all here. And I just wanted to express my gratitude to all of the beautiful souls who signed up for Mikala and Yeshua and my class that we taught together. Actually, Yeshua and I taught. Mikala just we used her vessel so he could come through and talk to all of you through the class on Sunday. We had 70 of you sign up for that. Thank you. And I got into an argument with my husband over this because it was supposed to be a 2-hour class, and he's like, I don't understand how you don't know how long your class is going to take. And he's not awake and he doesn't believe in spiritual stuff or psychic stuff. So I had to explain to him, um, even though he's rolling his eyes at me the entire time, that as a psychic and a teacher, that when I teach a class, I will write up most of the class, get as much info from Yeshua as I can, or my own knowledge that I can, write it up. And then when I go to teach the class, my higher self or Mother, Father, God, or Yeshua will channel more information to me during the class that I didn't include, or different things based on the audience who's watching. So, for example, when I go to make a speech, a live speech in front of people, my higher self will, like, how do you want to say, scan the audience. And I won't always say what I was supposed to say. Like, I could show up there with a whole speech written and the entire speech is changed because when my higher self scans the audience, we find out they needed a different message completely. So with the class on Sunday, I had a lot of information come through, extra info that I had not intended on teaching or even thought about at all. It just came through, and did some exercises with everyone and taught everyone muscle testing and all kinds of stuff. And I had not planned on any of that. So just a lot of stuff. So if you have not signed up for that class, the link is below. It is recorded now. Of course, when you watch a recording, you can't ask me a question in the chat because it's a recording. If you have a really urgent question about the class, that if you watch it all the way to the end, because somebody else might have already asked your question, so I would ask you to watch it to the end, to make sure you get all the answers. But if for some reason you have a question that wasn't answered and it's important, you can email me after the class, through Spiritual Growth Journeys. You can go through the contact form there and say, I took your class, I have a question, and then state your question, and I'll be happy to answer it for you or have Yeshua answer it for you. So depending on who it was directed to. But you can sign up for that class. It's not too late because it's up there as a recording, and all my classes will be up there until we ascend, until the earth, until the purification event happens. All my classes will be up on that website. Learnitlive.com/Kimberly Palm has all my courses. I've got like at least 14 classes on there to help you all on your journey, to help you heal your body, to help you heal others, to help you remember your past lives, to teach you how to be your own psychic, just all kinds of classes. This specific class was Discerning the Truth from Within. We did many things in that class, but especially teaching you how to tell who's lying to you on social media, who's telling the truth to you on social media, how to tell false light beings. If you're meditating yourself and you have a being come through to you who claims to be Yeshua or some other being or an angel, how to tell if the being coming through to you in your meditation is a false light being or the real deal. We also taught you how to make decision making, like, should I move? Should I vacation in this spot or that spot? Where should I move to? Should I marry this guy? Should I date this guy? Should I break up with this guy? Should I buy this car? Should I buy this house? You know, all your life decisions, we taught you how to make those decisions as well. So this is a priceless class. Like, it's literally the information you learn in this class is probably worth $100,000 or more, but all we charged is $33 USD. And in the UK, it's 24 pounds sterling, not a lot of money. So go sign up for that if you haven't yet, because you need to be able to get your own answers. It's really, really important. But today, the subject material that we are going to talk about is, what does prayer do to food and water, and how this all came about? So there's two things I'm going to I just decided I'm going to talk about the second side thing that actually led me to this thing. I wasn't going to talk about that. I was going to do a really short video and just focus on a few little quick things that I wanted to share. But then I'm like, I need to also discuss what brought me over to that as well. So let me go back in time and tell you why I am making this video for you to teach you all today. This is an important lesson, and some of you may want to even take notes. But what happened is I was reading, so I have my Spiritual Growth Journeys book club I'm doing every Saturday now, and we started reading a specific book. I'm not telling you which one it was, but in the book, everything was going great until I get to one page in the book, and this is where the discernment class will really help you to figure out, no, that's a bunch of bullshit. Basically started going off saying, if you eat meat, and I've heard a whole bunch of spiritual teachers on YouTube say this as well, if you eat meat, you're eating death energy and you cannot ascend. That is a lie. Lie, 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 liar, liar, catch on fire hanging from a telephone wire, okay? I heard that when I was a little girl, by the way. Or liar, liar, pants on fire. That's right. Liar, liar, pants on fire. So that is not true. So I want you to think about this. First of all, Native Americans and indigenous people all over the world eat meat every day. And those people are the closest to Mother Earth you can imagine. But before they eat it, they give thanks to the Mother Earth and to the animal itself. And they even do ceremony for the animal for giving its life and its blood and all of that. They always do gratitude, okay? They give gratitude back to the mother, to our Mother Tara, our Mother Earth, that provides us with all this food and everything, including our body. It's all comes from Mother Tara, okay? The second thing is there are people in places, and I've talked about this before, and this is my argument for the people saying if you don't go vegan, you're going to hell or you're not going to ascend. More bullshit. This particular book said that you can eat milk products and you can eat plants, and that's it. And that's a lie. That was made up by some person who ate that way and believed that it's their way or the highway kind of thing. I've told this argument to people pushing this, everyone has to be a vegan thing over and over again. Number one, we are in a third density body. Third density humans were pretty much mostly carnivore, which is why a lot of people are going on carnivore diet and actually completely curing and healing everything from cancer to autoimmune disorders to different diseases, all sorts of things. There's a laundry list of things people have been curing just by going on keto or carnivore, okay? And that is a serious thing. And that is because humans, I had mine removed, but we have these sharp canine teeth. We have these sharp teeth for chewing up meat. Humans have been meat eater carnivores since the beginning of the creation of humans on this earth, okay? And up until, I don't know, the last couple thousand years ago, nobody had access to fruits and vegetables. Nobody had fields planted. They didn't know how. I mean, field planting and all that and farming didn't start until Egypt. Okay, they didn't start doing farming of wheat and grains until Egypt, and they didn't really have vegetables. They had meat, they had fish, they had butters and ghee and yogurt and eggs and cheese and meat and breads. And that's all they mostly had. They didn't really, if you lived in the Middle East or the desert, the only fruit they really had was like figs. I mean, they didn't have a lot of fruits, okay? So they had figs and dates. And dates are like really healing to the body, but they didn't really have all the fruits and vegetables that we have today, like the tomatoes and the carrots and the corn and green beans and asparagus and all this stuff we eat every day, salads, all these different types of salads. those things came in very recent times. Okay. All of these things they want you to go vegan on. Up until very recently, people were mostly carnivore. Okay. That's number one. Number two, to this day, even right now, 2025, if you go up to the Inuit people up in the northern parts, all the Aleutian Islands up there that span from Siberia, and if you go into Siberia, Mongolia, all those regions, you go into all the Aleutian Islands with the Aleut people, and then you go up north of Canada to the Inuit people, and then you go over to the other part of the northern Arctic to the Sami people of Siberia, and the Sami people of Sweden, Norway, Finland. All of those peoples up in the northern hemisphere of the earth, all they eat is meat, because all they have in the Aleutian Islands and in the Inuit area up at the Arctic Circle up there, all they have is whales and seals and I think penguins maybe, and that's it, and fish. That's all they have to eat. They can't grow crops because the ground is frozen all year long. So there's no crop growing unless you're wealthy enough to have your own little, your own heated, huge indoor, growing, I forgot what you call that thing, a house, greenhouse is the word I was looking for. So unless you have a greenhouse and you have a lot of money to create the heat and the lighting for it and all that to make the stuff grow, which a lot of people up there are very poor in those parts of the world, they don't have that kind of money. Their food is meat 24/7. That's all they eat. Okay. And if you go to Norway, Sweden, Finland, the Sami people, all they live on, I've seen tons of documentaries on this. Plus, my husband's family are Sami. They eat reindeer. They eat reindeer all year long. They go and they make it into reindeer jerky and reindeer this and reindeer that. That's all they're eating most of the time. They eat a lot of fish too. They're eating fish and they're eating reindeer. Okay, that's their diet. There are also other remote places all over the earth where all they have to eat is fish or meat. They don't have crops. They don't have fresh fruits and vegetables. Those people cannot be vegan. So these people telling you you're not going to ascend unless you eat vegan are lying to you. I've told you all over and over again what makes you ascend. What makes you ascend is being kind, compassionate, loving, and respectful to yourself and to others, taking care of the body, the temple of the Holy Spirit, nurturing it with food, as Yeshua would say, that is good for your specific body. He has said over and over again that you need to eat what is best for your body. What is good for your body may not be good for my body. Okay. And so on and so forth. So you need to take care of the temple of the Holy Spirit. That means not drinking tons of alcohol and smoking cigarettes and getting yourself high on drugs and doping, and not eating fast food and seed oils and all the toxic poison garbage out there, trying to eat a balanced, healthy diet. And if you read the book, The Blue Zones, if you really want to live long and healthy, get the book, The Blue Zones, read the places on the earth, like Okinawa, Japan, this island of, what is it, Icarus or whatever in Greece, this island, I can't remember, I think it was Icarus, I can't remember, but the Greek Isles in general, basically, Japan, Loma Linda, California, where there's a huge community of Seventh-day Adventists who eat, I think, vegetarian or whatever. And then there's other places in the world where the people, I think off the coast of Italy, I think or parts of Italy and Sardinia and those islands like that, off the coast of Italy, the people live to 100+ years of age because most of these places, they eat a balanced Mediterranean type diet, or they eat a lot of, like in Okinawa, they eat a lot of vegetables, rice and fish, a little bit of beef. They eat some beef, I believe, and chicken, but they're mostly eating a lot of vegetables, rice, and fish, but they're not being told don't eat any meat. They also have some milk products, but they also eat a lot of tofu and fermented soy stuff like miso and that kind of thing. And they live to be really, really old, and all their food is organic in these places. Okay. They're not sprayed with pesticides and all that, with the exception of in California, they might not be getting organic stuff. But taking care of what is going to help you ascend is taking care of the temple, eating a balanced diet that is good for you. So if what is best for you is eating vegan and your body is the healthiest eating vegan, then you eat vegan. If it's vegetarian, then eat vegetarian. If it's pescatarian, eat pescatarian. If it's carnivore, eat carnivore. Yeshua has never said you're going to hell or you're lowering your frequency or you're eating death energy or any of that bullshit that they keep spreading. It's fear porn is what they're saying. Oh, you're eating death energy. You're eating death. Okay, well, what about my cat that all she eats is carnivore all day long? She's eating other animals. She's eating death energy. What about all the animals that live around me here in the forest? I'm out in the mountains, in the woods. We've got bears, we've got cougars, we've got badgers, we've got weasels, we've got what are those other horrible things with the sharp teeth? Oh my gosh, we've got all of these guys, and every one of them are carnivores. We've got cougars, we've got bobcats, we've got what are those guys? Coyotes. Every one of the animals living around me is a carnivore and eats other animals. Every animal has consciousness and they have a soul too, by the way. Animals have souls. Yes, they do. In fact, humans can reincarnate as animals all the time. I have myself. I'm going to take my coat off because I'm kind of cold. Sorry. I mean, I'm kind of hot. Sorry, cold. I can't even think. So all of the animals, I guess, are eating death energy of other animals. Okay. So as long as you're in a third density body, like those animals are, all of us on the earth now, the earth is 3D. As long as you are in 3D, you're going to have to eat what is best for your body, which means maybe meat. Okay, I've said this over and over again that every vegan I know, okay, and this is just my experience. You may know vegans, you may say, oh, but I'm a vegan and I'm really healthy. That's fine. But every single vegan that I know has diabetes right now, or their teeth are falling out of their mouth and rotting, or their bones are cracking and breaking, and they have osteopenia and osteoporosis because they are missing out on important stuff that you get from milk products and meat products that you can't get in the vegetables, plus the fact that I've said over and over that all of the farming in the United States, any food that comes from the United States farms is basically garbage. It's worthless. It's devoid of nutrients. It's devoid of anything, and it's heavily sprayed with all kinds of chemicals. So if you think that you're going to be healthy living off of that, and maybe and most of these people don't even take vitamins. They're like, I don't need to take a vitamin. I get it all from my food. And here's their food that they're putting in their body that is just empty, no nutrition left because of bad farming for the last 100 years that was created by the cabal to purposely how do you want to say, denurture or whatever, demote your food to a low vibration so that you will get sick and die. They purposely created these horrific farming practices that are not done in Europe, not done in Asia, not done anywhere in the world except for here in the US, maybe in the UK, because the UK is run by the same evil reptilians. They have ruined all the food and totally stripped it of everything for that reason in the United States. Okay, that's why when I go to Europe and I eat food over there, I'm healthy the entire time I'm in France. Or Italy. I go to France, Italy, Greece, been to Greece. Whole time I was there, felt really good, really vivacious. My digestion was perfect, perfect. Come back over to the United States, can't digest my food, feel sick all the time. Nothing I eat makes me feel good. I just feel like shit eating American food 24/7. Doesn't matter how organic it is. And that's because even the organic farms get sprayed with glyphosates now. It's ridiculous. Plus, they're taking even organic produce and organic meat and injecting it with mRNA and all kinds of crap, basically poisoning everything. So anyways, so I read this stuff in this book. So then I start talking about to Yeshua about if I pray over the food, because there's all these people who say, well, you have to pray over the food. And even I've said that too, that when you pray over the food, it helps it. Okay. And there's people who say, well, even if it's poisoned, if you pray over it, it'll be fine. So then I remembered a few things that happened to me recently. Okay, number one thing that happened to me is um, I was eating something at a restaurant, and I have an allergy. I'm not going to tell people on social media here what I'm allergic to, because unfortunately then some baddies who want to take me out, all they have to do is spike my food with that and I will be, off the earth plane. So I'm not going to say what it is I'm allergic to, but I asked the waitress in the restaurant, is this specific substance in your food? She swore up and down that it's not in there. Nope, not in there, not in there at all. I didn't trust them because I don't trust any of these restaurants. So I prayed over my food and thinking, well, if it's in there, I'll be okay, because everybody claims that even if this crap's in your food, if you pray over it, you're going to raise the frequency and you're going to be fine, right? So here I am, like fool, praying over my food, thinking everything's going to be hunky dory. 2 hours later, 2 hours later, actually, maybe 2 hours later. Yep, 2 hours. I'm in the hotel room, sicker than a dog, sick, so sick. This was at a restaurant, and I was on a trip to Seattle, Washington. I was visiting Seattle, Washington. And I was in this Italian restaurant, which doesn't exist anymore. It was shut down. It was actually owned by a friend of mine, believe it or not, not in business anymore. And in my hotel room, sicker than a dog, having an allergic, horrible reaction to the substance that the waitress swore up and down was not in my food, and it actually was in the food. And I prayed over it and blessed it and the whole 9 yards, and I still had a reaction. Okay. Then I have a friend who talked me into taking a supplement, and I told her I'm allergic to that supplement. And she said, "Oh, no, this one's different. They've done all this stuff to it to make it hypoallergenic, and it's perfect. And everybody I know who has an allergy to it can take it just fine." So I took the supplement, I blessed it, I prayed over it. I took it, and I broke out in a rash all over my body, everywhere, all over my body, blistering rash, like little blisters. And it took months to heal them. And I now have scars, by the way, everywhere where those were. Little scars all over the place, not everywhere a bit. And some of them were pretty bad, and I got scarred. So I went to Yeshua, had a long chat with him, and this is the message for you from him. Okay, so we're going to go into this beautiful, by the way, some of this is beautiful, some of it is serious. It's all serious, but you need to hear this. It is the most important thing ever. Praying over your food and beverages, so like you could be drinking a pop beverage that has all kinds of chemicals in it. Praying over your food and beverages does not remove poisons, toxins, chemicals, and allergens from the food. It's still there. It will still affect you, and it can still make you sick. So I said, why should we pray over the food then if it doesn't protect us from poisons, allergens, chemicals, and toxins? That's what I said to him. I said, okay, so if it doesn't remove any of that, if it's still there, he said, it's still there. It hasn't gone away. I said, so why would I bother praying over it? He said, this is his words, the purpose of praying over the food and water is to be grateful, to show gratitude, and to remember that it comes from our mother, the earth. Or he said, your mother, the earth, because he's not on the earth right now. So it's our mother, the earth. So I want you to listen to that again and write it down. The purpose of praying over the food and water is to be grateful and to remember that it comes from your mother, the earth. I said, well, let's see. I don't understand then what is all this stuff about raising the frequency of the food and blah, blah, blah. I'm asking him these questions, and his answer was praying over food. This is just for the food only, not the liquid. Praying over food sends positive energies into the food, and the food then sends positive energy into your body when you eat it. Okay. But it will not remove toxins, chemicals. It won't neutralize them either. It won't do anything to them. The only thing it's going to do is, he said, every time you say prayers, he said, the prayers you offer up to God over your food and water are always heard and received with love. Okay. I'm going to say that to you again. The prayers you offer up to God over your food and water, or whatever you're drinking, or supplements you're taking, your vitamins, are always heard and received with love. Whenever you pray for anything, when you pray for anything, including your food and water, vitamins, whatever, the prayer that you offer up, the prayer that you make, goes into the collective and blesses everyone on earth. That just made me cry. So every time you pray for anything, including, it didn't make me cry now, but it made me cry when he said that to me. Whenever you pray for anything, including your food and water, the prayer goes into the collective and blesses everyone on the earth. And that is why we're supposed to pray without ceasing. We're supposed to constantly pray. Every time we pray, we are blessing. It's going into the collective. And then it is returning back to us like a boomerang, the universal frequency boomerang of love. And we're just filling ourselves with all this high frequency love. And that is helping us raise our vibration and ascent. So now let's go back to water, because it's a different story altogether. We're going to talk about the water. Okay. So I said to him, what about all the fluoride and the chemicals and whatever in the water? And he said, unfortunately, praying over water, the stuff is still there, just like it is in the food. It's still there. However, there's one little difference here. When you pray over water, unlike the food, which is dead, it's all dead and has no soul in it or consciousness in it at all. Your hamburger doesn't have a consciousness in it anymore. When you pray over water, it's actually living. It's actually alive. Water is alive. I've talked about this. I have a whole water healing class you can sign up for on mylearnitlive.com/Kimberly Palm, all one word. Go there. You can learn how to heal with water and sacred geometry, like the infinity sign here. I have a whole class on how to do that. And this is what he said, when you pray over water, and this is in my class, it has consciousness, and the prayer does not remove the poisons, but what it does is it changes the molecules of the water and raises the water's frequency. So if you ask the water to heal you, it will. And so last night, for example, I was in the shower and I went into the shower with a backache, and I said, thank you to the water with gratitude. I said, thank you, living waters. Thank you for healing my body and taking away the pain out of my back. And I asked the water to please remove the pain. And by the time I was done with the shower, my backache was like 80–90% better. It was quite a bit better. Okay. So when you pray over water, the water actually has consciousness. And if you study Dr. Emoto, which I talk about in my water healing class, you could take 1 cup of water and say, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, over to it. It'll turn all cloudy and black and gross. You can say, I love you, I love you, I love you, to the other glass of water, and the water will clear. And if you take the molecules and look at them under the telescope, or under the, microscope, you can take molecules of water that you said, I hate to, and you'll see how they get destroyed. It destroys them. And then you can see what happens to the molecules that you speak love. You speak love to the water, or you can even write love on the bottle of water. And you can put sacred geometry under the bottle of water, and the water will absorb that. love frequency and that sacred geometry. And then you can look at them under the microscope and you can see how it changes the molecules to these really gorgeous, stunning looking sacred geometry. And that is because all of the water is alive. It's living water. Back when I first got the COVID in 2021 or whatever it was, the water literally was speaking to me in the shower and saying, I am the living. It literally introduced itself to me. And that was when I was told I needed to create the water healing class at that point. It said, I am the living waters. I am conscious. Every molecule of water has consciousness. It's all consciousness and it's all alive. It's actually living. It is the blood. Water is actually the blood of Mother Gayatara, along with oil. Oil and water are actually part of her blood and circulatory system, and it is all alive. Even if you take it out of the river, it is still alive. Even if you take it out of the stream and you run it through your shower, it is still alive. And all of those molecules of water have consciousness, living consciousness. And when you pray over that water and you thank it with gratitude and you put gratitude, which is love and gratitude are the two highest frequencies in the universe. When you put the frequency of love and gratitude into that water, it becomes a healing, as they call it, medbed or healing pod for you. You could literally turn your shower every time you go into the bathtub or shower. You could do a bath with salt water in it, like real sea salt in it, with all those minerals and everything. It will purify and clear all your chakras. And you can ask it to heal you, and it will do that as well. And if you go in there and you're not feeling so well, you can rate how crappy you're feeling on a scale of 1 to 10, like 10 being I feel like shit. Go into that bathtub with the sea salt, hot water, or you can do dead sea salts, whatever, or just regular sea salt. I use Celtic sea salt, or I use Redmond sea salt, which I think are the two best. Beware of the pink salt, the Himalayan salt, because that has been found to be full of lead and aluminum and all kinds of other cadmium, mercury, all kinds of other toxins. They've been finding a lot of lead and bad stuff in that. So be careful with the Himalayan salt unless you can prove that it's been lab tested. The sea salt from the Celtic, from southern France, is the best. That's the one I use. Or I use the Redmond from the dried up sea oceans that used to be in Utah. Okay, there's Redmond from Utah, and that used to be ocean there, and it's full of, every time I bump my little tiny crappy desk here, my computer bounces up and down. I unfortunately don't have the ability to go buy a new desk right now, because all of our money is going to massive medical bills for my family. So, but this, every time I bump this at all, even a tiny bit, it goes boing, boing up and down. So I apologize for that. All right. So when you pray over your water, you're not going to remove the poison from the water. The fluoride's still going to be there unless you use, I really recommend using like a Berkey or one of those filters. I use a reverse osmosis system. It literally, that turns my water alkaline, turns it to the bright alkalinity, gets rid of all the fluoride. It's the only thing that we found when we did research that removed all the fluoride and all of that. It's not cheap. It's pretty pricey. We got it when we moved into this house many years ago. And then we changed the filters on it all the time. But it literally makes the water, you can just taste the difference. Like the water tastes really pure and really good. It just has a really good taste. And it puts minerals back into the water. After it's pulled out the fluoride and everything, it's expensive to run. It also raises your water bill and your electricity bill because it uses like 4 times as much water to make 1 cup. Like it takes 4 cups of water to get 1 cup of water because of what it does to it to pull out all the fluoride and all the crap. And don't ask me what the name of it is because I don't know. And there's no way for me to find out because it's deep underneath the sink in an area that I can't get to. So please don't message me down below and ask me what brand it is. You will have to just do research into what are called reverse osmosis systems. Those are the best for removing fluoride, okay? It doesn't matter which brand. Get the one that's rated the best, that's a reverse osmosis, or if you want to do a Berkey, or if you want to do that hydrogen water, or you want to do the alkaline system. You know, there's a lot of different systems out there. that are really good for the body, for getting all the poison out of the water. But let's say you're on vacation somewhere, you're like in North Carolina, or you're in Texas, or you're in Seattle, or you're in Los Angeles. Like I went to Los Angeles not too long ago to see my auntie who had cancer. Um, that was very recent, actually, just like what, 3 weeks ago or something like that. Um, but anyways, um, so when you're in these places and you're eating in restaurants, still pray over your food and water and bless it, especially the water, because it's conscious, and just know that those prayers are going into the collective and coming back to you in the form of frequency, but you are not going to be able to remove the toxins, the chemicals, the allergens. They're still going to be there. So be really careful. Everything you eat, everything you put in your body, just be careful. That's all I have to say. You darn well better have some allergy meds with you, or an EpiPen with you, or um, stuff to take to counteract, like something that you can take. I don't know what that would be to counteract when you're eating shitty food. I mean, I use a lot of digestive enzymes and stuff like that. I also take garlic and or oil of oregano and black seed oil and stuff like that to kill any bacterias and parasites. Like if I'm eating out at restaurants, I don't want to get parasites. So I take like a whole arsenal of, natural things that will kill the parasites and stuff. Um, so that's what I would really recommend you do. And especially for food poisoning, when you travel, always take, what are those called? The charcoal capsules. I take the black charcoal capsules with me everywhere I travel, because if you do get food poisoning, you want to take the charcoal. It gets it out of your body quicker. Garlic capsules will kill any bacteria. In fact, my daughter and son and I and husband went on a vacation somewhere several years ago, and husband and son got food poisoning, and my daughter and I did not. And the reason why is because we were taking, I think, all were we taking? We were taking ginseng and garlic and I think oregano and just a whole bunch. We were taking a whole bunch of stuff. And so whatever bacteria was in the food, it got killed by the pills we were taking. But husband and son were not taking those pills, and they were very sick and puking in the whole 9 yards. Um, so there's that. And I just wanted to mention that the reason that I turned off the comments on my last video with, I believe, Mikala, I think the last one I did was with Mikala and Yeshua, is because my auntie passed away. She got the Pooks from the COVID, those Pooks, a bunch of them. She came down with turbo cancer, and she passed away. And I've been going through a lot of grief over that, because she was like, first of all, she was like a mom to me. And second of all, that's the end of my family at this point. Like, I don't have anybody left of my immediate family. The only family I have now is my 2 adult kids and my husband. And I do have cousins, but they do not communicate with me at all, because they have their own lives and they're all kind of narcissistic and very asleep, 100% asleep, 100% woke lefty people who are, asleep, woke, lefty, narcissistic. Basically, you can check off everything on the list. And so I don't have a relationship with any of them. So all of the people who I was close with, my grandparents, my parents, my baby brother, have been taken off the earth plane, and several relatives have all been taken out by the COVID big pharma stuff, including my baby brother, my auntie, and 3 of my cousins, all taken out, all dead now from those things that they injected. And then also for my brother, it was a combination of the things and the hospital, the deadly hospital thing, where they give you more stuff to try to kill you in the hospital. So big pharma we need divine justice. We need it now. And everybody's distracted with all the stuff going on in the Middle East. And in the meantime, there's literally, I think it's like 5,000 people a day in the US that they came out in a congressional hearing and said 5,000 people each day are passing away from side effects from the COVID pokes. So yeah, and there's no justice for that. They're still not sending Fauci, that guy, the guy with the big nose, and the looks like a rat. If you ask me, it looks like a little short little rat guy. He's really a reptilian. But anyways, no justice. He's not in prison. None of the CDC people are in prison. None of the people who push this whole agenda are in prison. And my family members are all biting it left and right. So I want divine justice. I'm very upset about this. So anyways, that's why I turned the comments off last time, because I was going through a lot of grief at the time and I was an emotional basket case. I'm better now. I'm still sad. I'm really sad that I lost somebody who was an amazing human being. She was a good person. She was just pure love. She helped everybody in her life. She was very service to others oriented and very constantly helping people all the time, including me. I owe so much in my life to my auntie. I wouldn't have made it through college without her. I wouldn't have had a car to get to college without her, because the little one that I paid cash for, that I saved up for and bought myself, broke down and almost got me killed on several occasions. So her and my grandma got together and gave me a deposit to get a new car. They gave me cash to go, get a newer car. I had to pay the monthly payments on that, but at least they gave me the money down so I could do that. And I wouldn't have been able to get to college otherwise, because I lived really far away from the college I was going to, and I had to drive there every day. There wasn't like a direct bus I could take. So, so I owe a lot to her, and she was kind of like a mom to me. She was my mother's baby sister. And yeah, I'm sure my mom's rolling in her grave. And then my mom died of pancreatic cancer from smoking. My mom smoked for most of her life. I think she started smoking in high school and smoked up until a year before she died. And we don't have a history of cancer at all in my family. Like up until my mom and my aunt, nobody had ever died of cancer. And I asked the doctor when my mom had cancer, I said, why did she have it? And he said, from smoking. He said, smoking cigarettes caused the pancreatitis. I also think she had parasites. I think she had a combination of parasites and smoking, but she would never listen to me when it came to medical advice, because she was a nurse and she was kind of a know-it-all and wouldn't listen to me. Auntie didn't really listen to me either. Neither of them listened to me. I tried to tell her to, try, what about this and what about that? And she's like, oh, my daughter already is taking care of all that. And she wouldn't listen to me. So, and neither would her daughter. So, like I said, asleep, woke, left, really nice people, but all that other stuff. Yeah. So, anyways, all right. Well, that's all I have to say today. I just also wanted to point out to you that I have made a choice. A lot of spiritual teachers out there, instead of providing you with this content like I'm providing you with, you have to like pay for it to get it on their channels. They have like a membership thing. I'm not going to name names, but there's a whole list of people that in order to get their content and their teachings and info, you have to do a monthly membership to go watch the videos. They'll do like a teaser 1-minute video or something, and then you have to go in and pay a membership fee to do that. And that's how they make a living, so they can pay the bills. I'm not doing that, but I still have to pay the bills. So any donations you guys want to give me to support this channel would be helpful. Even if it was $1, I'd be happy. It helps me to keep my computer turned on and to keep doing these videos. And especially if you go to my learnitlive.com/Kimberly Palm and you sign up for some of my classes, that will also help me to keep going with this work. You can also go to my website, spiritualgrowthjourneys.com, and purchase my books. I've got 4 of them up there. That will help me to keep doing the work I'm doing, because I don't have a day job, and I'm not charging tons of money or making tons of money, and I don't have millions of followers because I have not sold my soul to Satan, and I never will. And I'm sharing truth. So I'm being minimized on the amount of people that follow me. I have a very small following because I'm sharing truth as opposed to sharing, what do they call it? Controlled opposition, as they call it, or something like that. The people who basically sold their soul to the dark side. I'm not doing that. So there's a link below if you want to donate to my work that I'm doing. I'm so grateful for all the donations that have already been sent to help me keep going with this. I really appreciate it. I don't focus on money. I focus everything on spirit. And then I just thank the universe for taking care of all my needs every day, because I'm not all about going out and manifesting millions of dollars. It's not a priority to me. I don't sit around thinking about money, focusing on money, any of that. I'm always focusing on spirit, on God, on taking care of my body, taking care of my family, and taking care of all you, teaching you. That's my focus. There's a lot of people in the spiritual industry that their focus is obviously money, because they have like 2 million followers or 200,000 followers, and then they're charging you $2,000 for a 15-minute reading and that kind of thing. It's obvious where their head is and where their heart is. It's all about the money, which is not going to ascend you to 5D, unfortunately. So anyways, thank you all for being here. Thanks for your support. I really appreciate you. And I will have the comments turned on this video if you have anything to say or to ask. And the link to the last class that Yeshua and I just taught on Learn It Live is down below. And I'll see you on the next video, hopefully. Bye.